We do have tornado warning in effect now. This is in effect for Lee County until 7 o'clock this evening. I do want to highlight the fact this is a tornado warning. We've been watching this storm here just outside of Sneedville. You see how we're seeing that little appendage right there, and that's what we've got going on. A tornado warning here. This is Lee County, Hancock County. I think Hawkins County in on that as well. Let me just check on that. Yeah, it is. So Hancock, Hawkins, Lee, and Scott County, a tornado warning. This is in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. And let me show you where the appendage is. Let's look at the velocity here, because we've been watching this trying to power up and die back down, but we have that couplet right in through here. That's where you'd see a tornado if it were actually on the ground. This is a tornado warned storm here just east and northeast of Sneedville. Here at Burgoynesville and Church Hill. So you're looking at Hawkins County back into Hancock County. We've got Lee County and Scott County in on that as well. So this is that appendage. We'll circle that for you. Look at all the lightning kind of ramping up here. Now this is a tornado warning. If you're just joining us and you're in this area, you want to seek shelter immediately indoors, away from windows, lowest level of your house, preferably a basement if you have one. And sometimes we oftentimes see the lightning increase rapidly when we have a tornado close to the area of the lightning. So we're watching that carefully. So this again, we want to track this out and see where this is going to. You can see some of the cities in the path of this. We'll watch that in a minute here. But nonetheless, that's that tornado warned storm. And again, we've got a tornado warning here until 7 o'clock for Hancock County, Hawkins County, Lee County, and Scott County. Let's go back to the radar, because I do want to point out that we still have the appendage there of some of the cities in the path of this. Kyles Ford at 633, Independence 644, and Big Stone, Big Springs actually about 646. If that storm is moving in that direction, you can see who's going to be in the path of this, and it looks like it's going to definitely come right into Hawkins County. So parts of western and central Hawkins County, you could certainly see this. We'll take this off. Let's show you the velocity, or the radar actually, and as we do so, Alex, we're going to switch over and we can see that right there's that couplet and a very good notch here. We've got that circulation right into this area. Now along with that, we're going to keep this on a still shot. I want to show you the hail, because oftentimes with storms of this intensity, we're going to see quite a bit of hail here, and the hail could be anywhere from quarter size to $half size here, and definitely watching that. See some of the black here, that's where your larger hail is certainly being found, and that's been quite a swath of hail here, most likely covering the ground there. And again, that is back to Hancock County, watching this make its way into Hawkins County and Lee County here. So we've got the hail core. Let's show you the radar, because if you're in the path of this storm, want to give you an idea. We're going to zoom this out just a bit to show you where this is in proximity to the rest of the Tri-Cities. And here is Kingsport and Gate City, not that far, but here is Tri-Cities and Johnson City. We'll zoom in closer here, because you can see Kingsport right here. This is the storm we're looking at now coming out of Hancock County. It's going to clip into Hawkins County, and this is a tornado warned storm. That's why we're on the air here, tornado warning. We're always on the air until the warning has expired, and this is a tornado warned storm here for Hancock County, Lee County, Scott County, and Hawkins County. So there's the radar. Let's zoom back in. There's Kingsport right here, and this storm is going to move pretty quickly, Alex. I don't know what's the speed on that particular storm we're looking at.
That's now a confirmed tornado?
Yes, confirmed tornado. It means it's on the ground. So this is why we're on the air. If you're in this area, let's zoom in closer, see if we can pick out some cities on this. That's what the purple means. It is a confirmed tornado. It has been sighted now that we're looking at here. So a tornado confirmed located near Sneedville, moving east at about 30 miles per hour. Let's get Sneedville on the map here. Sneedville right there. So it's moving at about 30. I would say most likely in this area, Alex. Let's switch over to velocity mode, and you can definitely see this. This is the tornado itself, and yeah, we've got that couplet still going on right into this area. If you want to circle that for us, and just point out, we're going to show you the circulation right here. This is a confirmed tornado right there. Here's Burgoynesville, here's Church Hill, and what the purple represents, new with the Weather Service, this is actually a confirmed tornado. It's been sighted again near Sneedville. It's moving at about 30 miles per hour. So this, again, where the couplet is, and let's take that right there and show you the coefficient, what I'm trying to say, yes, where we might have some debris. And yeah, you can see a little bit of a signature right in here as we look at that debris detector here, showing where we may see that.
Oh yeah,
and
you can see right there.
Right there. You can definitely see that. We've had a little bit, backing up one more notch there. You can see that right there. We'll take it back just a second. So that tells us we've got some kind of debris being lofted by this.
Right
if we got
here.
the confirmation formation of that tornado. Right there it is. You can see that again here is Sneedville. So on the path it's currently taking, Alex, we want to track that. It looks like it's moving east more,
about 30
a little
miles
northeast here, about 30, 35
Northeast
miles
at
per
30.
hour. Yeah, so you can see this here. We got that severe thunderstorm warning. Here is a tornado warning again, and it has been a confirmed tornado. Let's see if you've got the current status on, because I don't see the purple here, the blinking box. There it is right there.
I'll just take the laps off.
Yeah, look right here. You could definitely see that. That's most likely where that tornado is occurring there. And let's see if we get some communities. If you zoom in a little bit closer to that dry branch just east of you folks. Along with this is a confirmed tornado we're looking at now. And this storm moving east at about 30 miles per hour. That's a tornado that's been confirmed on the National Weather Service. Somebody has actually spotted this tornado. Here are some of the cities and towns involved in this. So you're looking here, Kyles Ford. You're not that far away, about 633. It's about 628 right now. So if you're in the Kyles Ford area, you look to your west, you'll most likely see the darkening sky here. That is still a confirmed tornado. Along with that, we've got large hail. And the hail size could be anywhere from 1/4 to almost 1 1/4 inches in diameter there. So that's why we're watching this. So once it moves through the Kyles Ford area, you can see how it will continue to move eastward, possibly towards Big Springs and also Independence. And that blue, purple area, this simply means it's a confirmed tornado that's on the ground here. And we've had that tornado, a possible 60-mile-an-hour winds along with that as well. So let's go ahead and show you the radar again, because if you're in this area, you've got the confirmed tornado here, and you can see that little notch there, Alex. We're watching that as it's ramping up here with that particular tornado. Let's do this, Alex, if you can. Let's take the severe thunderstorm watch box off if you can, and we want to really just confine this to the purple box, which is that confirmed tornado. So if, again, you're living in Hancock County or Hawkins County, you got to be on the lookout for this. This storm is moving at about 30 miles per hour. Look at all the lightning there. Blackwater stretching down to Dry Branch. Just east of Dry Branch now is where this is. So we've got that little inflow notch. You can see a little bit of circulation going on right here. And if we switch over to our velocity mode, you can definitely see what we're looking at. We've still got a couplet on there, Alex, where a little not so tight, but a couplet still going on right there near Kyles Ford and Lifesay Mill. You can see that. You can see how we're watching that complex, a little storm here with that confirmed tornado right in there. So again, if you're in Independence, be on the lookout for this even midway, because this is moving at about 30 miles per hour, moving due east, Alex. So we've got that tornado confirmed on the radar. And let's show you the velocity. Well, we've dug it up. We've got the velocity. Let's go ahead and show you back to the reflectivity. We're just going to show you the radar here, and go ahead and put this in motion about 15 minutes or so, because this storm is moving very quickly. We've been watching this since we were on the news with the weather. You can see how it looked earlier. If you go back right there, pretty well defined, a couple of notches back, and then now it's making its way off towards the east. But nonetheless, you see some of the black in here. That represents where we have very large hail in association with this as well. And that's what we're looking at now coming into Hawkins County. And here is Church Hill. You've got Burgoynesville here, and back to the west, northwest of that region. That's where we've got this storm. And again, it's a confirmed tornado on the ground here. And let's go ahead and show you that velocity and see if it's still a couplet, so to speak. And we've still got that on here just now coming into Independence. So you see how fast this is moving. I don't know if you could take Alex on here, but it's moving pretty quick here, Alex, as we're watching the storm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, yep. Mark. One thing I do want to go ahead and talk about is this purple box means it is confirmed. This is a tornado on the ground. This is not a potential of a tornado. A tornado has been sighted or been detected by radar, and we've got that debris signature being matching up with where the rotation would be located. So you need to be in your tornado safe place. That is going to be in the lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, it's going to be in the centermost point of your house, away from the exterior walls, away from the windows. Again, this tornado has been confirmed by radar because it's detecting debris. And so very, very serious situation. If you are within this tornado warning, this confirmed tornado warning, you do need to seek shelter. So I do want to talk about that. And yes, we are still seeing a persistent rotation with this storm. And we've been watching it even just over the last 30 minutes really start to ramp up. And if we look at the reflectivity here, where we would be looking for this storm to basically form would be in here. So you've got the winds flowing in here. Winds are coming around your rotating thunderstorm on the back like this, and so you would get your tornado about in this location. And if we switch back over to where the velocity is located, yes, that matches up with what we're seeing on radar, and Mark also matching up, of course, where we're seeing that lowering there of the correlation coefficient.
Yeah, what's interesting, the National Weather Service confirming the tornado was confirmed about 9 miles east of Sneedville. So if we go back just a little bit, Alex, you can take this radar back. You can definitely see how, go back towards when it was over Sneedville. You can see how that's been working across from Sneedville now into parts of Hawkins County. So we're going to go back in time a bit. You can definitely see this right here because this is where it was confirmed right in here. If you go back to velocity, you'll be able to see that we had a tornado warning issued, and there you can see that couplet right there, about east of Sneedville. And now we'll just follow this couplet. This is a velocity mode. Look how bright that banding was. You go back there and check that red right there. That's where we most likely had winds in excess of 60, at least in association with that cell, which was a confirmed tornado there. What we do, we look at the winds going towards and away from the radar, and that's probably about 78 mile per hour wind when you confirm that. So it's a very minimal tornado, but nonetheless, if we take you back here and go back here, we're going to take this off, Alex, and let's follow this velocity mode from Rock Hill all the way up into areas of Hawkins County. It's just now coming over. Not quite as tight couplet, but we're still seeing some rotation in here. That's why that tornado warning is still in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. Along with that, we've had some large hail observed as well. So let's show you the hail, because the hail path has been incredible here too. And we've gotten hail size 1.25 inches in diameter. That's about half dollar size hail, if not a little bit bigger in some of this zone here. This has been making its way already through Kyle's Ford here, all the way back to Ramsey. So Hawkins County, you folks are now starting to see this coming out of Hancock County. And you can definitely see here as we widen this perspective, parts of Lee County, the extreme southwest corner, not really in on this. This is going to move more towards, say, Church Hill and possibly towards Gate City if it holds together long enough. That's why we're on the air. This is that tornado warned storm, and you can see the velocities, and we've got the radar up right now. And again, if you're in this area, you've seen a tornado, we'd love to share your photos if it's safe to do so. You can send us a picture of pix@wjhl.com. That is pix@wjhl.com. Make sure, though, you watch your email. We have to send you a release form. You have to sign that, send it back to us. If you get hail, we'd love to see the hail size. Lay a coin next to the hail. That's usually how we measure coins versus hail, penny size, nickel size, dime size, etc. And that's what you want to do there, too. So if you got hail that's accumulated on the ground, we would love to certainly see pictures of that if it's safe. Again, Alex pointing this out here, we're still watching that little appendage here where we're looking at just a little bit of vorticity, and that comes right into Church Hill at about 7:03. That's still a little ways away. It's about 6:35 right now. This is a confirmed tornado. We're still on the air with, you can see Big Springs at 6:39, Midway about 6:44. And let's take you back to the radar, because I do want to point out that this is not just one little cluster of thunderstorms. This extends from near Pennington Gap all the way now almost to Rogersville. And this line, if we put it in motion for the past 30 minutes or so, you see how quickly it is moving here. There's a current spot. Look how it's moving here. We've got that tornado warned storm. They're still keeping that, Alex, under the observed tornado, confirmed tornado here. And that is effective now for Hancock, Hawkins, and Lee and Scott County, at least until 7 o'clock. It is moving at about 30 miles per hour. So this is what we're looking at here. You notice we've got another tornado warning clear over there near Danville, Virginia. So quite active today. And you can see as we zoom back into this region, there your reflectivity. This is where the rain's falling heavy at times. And what I'm noticing here, Alex, we're not seeing near as much lightning.
Yes,
but if you zoom right in, we've got quite a lightning display going on right near what could still be that tornado right there. If you're seeing that right here, still looking at lightning strikes here. Looks like a little inflow notch here. Let's go ahead and spot this right here and put velocity on there. Let's see what we're looking at here, because this again, as we hold that, yep, there's that little signature. It's not as confined couplet, but it's a little more widespread. But nonetheless, there's something definitely going on in the atmosphere here. And look how we're seeing the lightning just lighting up here in association with that. Again, that's still a confirmed tornado. It was reported about 9 miles east of Sneedville, and now it's moving into parts of Hawkins County here. You see Church Hill. You also got Greenland there and Segoinsville, Big Springs If you're in the Big Springs area, it's pretty much right over you now, and that does have the potential of producing some large hail. Let's show you the hail, because the hail has been incredible too. We've had observation of anywhere from quarter to about $half size here as we've been watching the storm ramping up here through parts of Hancock County, Sneedville, and now points east there coming into Hawkins County, Alex. That's what we're looking at, that confirmed tornado there. I'm waiting to see if we don't have an update yet, but the last observation was about 9 miles east of Sneedville. And there again, it does not appear as it did earlier, Alex. It looks like it's losing some of momentum there, but nonetheless, you can still find some gusty winds in here. If you look at the shear, though, let's look at the shear path. You can definitely see it's still a little bit of, see how it's been moving here. You can see how the storm moved right over Sneedville. The shear, just a little bit of rotation in the atmosphere, so you can see that. And we're still seeing just a little bit. If you zoom into that area right there, probably east now of Kyle's Ford, I would say. What do you think? Let's look at that right there. And you can definitely see that. Yep, just a little bit here. If you were to see anything at all, it's most likely going to be right in that area there. As we're looking at Horton Ford Road and Fisher Valley Road, you can see that right there just south of Donna. And here is Independence. So, Alex, if you put the radar back on, we're watching this line of thunderstorms. It does appear that we have had a confirmed tornado here, and again, that's just outside of Sneedville by about 9 miles east of Sneedville. This storm complex, by the way, is moving east at 30. And again, if you're in this path, you may not see a tornado. If you hear any rumbling or any strange noises, you want to seek shelter immediately in your hallway, a closet, a bathroom, or a basement. Basement's safest place, but if you don't have a basement, you want to go into the lowest level of your house. Mobile homes, not the greatest, because sometimes we get these high winds that come out of those, and sometimes mobile homes can be turned around and so forth. So you want to seek shelter in a safe, secure building here. And again, you can definitely see Alex is looking at our rotation here, and it does not appear like it did, Alex. It doesn't look like it's really tight. We'll take Alex over there on the radar. I'm just not seeing that tight circulation we were looking at earlier, Alex.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. And one reason that might be is as it heads east, it's heading away from the favorable jet stream energy that we have that's sitting across the region. It's better to our north and to our west. And so storms that are forming in that environment are moving into a not so favorable environment. This is good news. This means most likely the storm will start to fall apart, and either it will be dropped or not continued downstream, continued further to the east. So again, anywhere in this purple box, especially through right along the county line there, and even the state line between Virginia and into Tennessee, you do need to be in your tornado safe place. And as Mark mentioned, that's going to be an interior closet or even in the basement, even in the centermost point of your basement. So whether you have a basement or not, be in the centermost point of your house, away from walls, away from windows. And again, if you do hear some of the rumbling, as Mark mentioned, or some strange sounds, you do want to be in your tornado safe place, and we want you there anyways, especially as this tornado has been confirmed by radar. If we go back and we look at the correlation coefficient, this is a tool that we use. Radar from scan to scan is looking to see, are the objects the same size? If they are, then you'll see more of this pink color. If they're changing size, such as if debris is being lofted, in this case, you'll see the lowering of that correlation coefficient, which is that blue color. So you see the blue color in the center of your screen there near Fairview, Big Springs. That's where we're concerned potentially of some of that debris that had been lofted from that confirmed tornado earlier. And again, that confirmed tornado warning is being continued till about 7 o'clock this evening.
Cool thing, Alex, because if you want to go back and look at that, we've got a little bit, it shows you, I mean, even leaves could be picked up by Doppler radar. If there's enough of them, they could be lifted aloft in the air, and that's what sometimes we see during the fall season. But let's take you all the way back to Sneedville. We're going to point this out one more time, because if you just joined us, we've had the tornado reported about 9 miles east of Sneedville. You can see that Alex has that pretty good circulation there where we picked up a little bit of debris here. If we can find that again, Alex, go ahead and circle it. We're going to watch this because that debris field moved all the way now. It's just been reported, not a confirmed tornado, but if we were to have a tornado, about 6 to 8 miles northwest of Burgonsville. So watch how this has been moving here. There's Sneedville right here. This little bit of rotation rotation has been continuing here on that eastward motion. You can see he's going to move the radar here for us. And here's Independence. You're looking at Fisher Creek right here. And if we take that, you can see how it's still moving right there. In association with that, we're going to go and advance the frames here, Alex, because as you do so, we're now coming into Hawkins County, and we still see it. Do you see it just a little bit maybe? And then we're getting some hail contamination as well. You got to remember the radar is going out, hitting the ice in the atmosphere, and I don't know how high you up. Let's give it as an example of how high we are in the atmosphere from the radar.
We're at about 2,364 feet off the ground.
Right, so we're about 2,000 feet. We got some hail that's falling in association with that. We're going to keep this image right here. Let's go ahead and show you the hail, because I want to point that out. If you're looking at the radar right here, we go ahead and show the hail core. Yeah, you see how we've got some hail in here as well. And again, I do want to point out here, Seguinsville right here, Churchill here. Weather Service looking at this as well. They've been saying about northwest by 8 miles outside of Seguinsville. Possibly now it's about 10 miles north of Rogersville. So we've got the Rogersville area there. You've got the Rogersville on there, Alex. You may want to pan out just a bit. So if we got Rogersville, Seguinsville, here's Seguinsville, Rogersville's right here, Seguinsville here. This is still just north of that region, and it's continuing to make its way on towards the east-northeast. So it's always interesting to look at, because sometimes that hail starts to fall, and when we see that, it kind of interacts with the radar. So if he goes back to the CC mode right here, you can definitely see we've got some contamination here in the radar. Could be locally heavy rainfall, could be some hail as well. And we're really not seeing the couplet per se that we've been looking at. That was a very strong couplet back towards Sneedville there into Hancock County. But now it's into Hawkins County. You're also seeing some of the lightning ramping up here as we look through Lee County coming into Scott County. So back to the radar, you can see how we've been looking at the thunderstorm activity. It's been moving quickly off towards the east-northeast. It looks like they just issued another tornado warning there, doesn't it?
Yes, I think they updated it, Mark, to a radar indicated tornado versus the observed, which is good news.
That's good news. So the purple is for a confirmed tornado, which we saw east of Sneedville by 9 miles. Now they're keeping this tornado warning in the red box here, and that means conditions are still favorable. We don't have a tornado on the ground right now, but it's still a tornado warning, because aloft, when you look at the radar data, we've been looking at some of that signature, the little couplet that we've been talking about, and that's why we've had that red box issued here. That again is a tornado warning. You might want to try and take the confirmed tornado off there, but nonetheless we can see the tornado warning here in the red. That still encompasses parts of Lee County into Scott County, also into Hawkins County. Now this is in effect at least until 7 o'clock this evening, as they're still saying that we may have some rotation in association with this. And again, I've been reading some of the discussions here. You can definitely see this here as we look and try and get our bearings straight here, Alex. You can see Kingsport right here. Look how close this is getting to the Kingsport area. So don't let your guard down, even though we don't have a tornado confirmed right now. This whole line of thunderstorms is going to quickly migrate into Scott County and Sullivan County, coming now through Hawkins County, just to the west of Church Hill, coming right over Cold Springs. And again, that's just the radar image. We'll go ahead and switch over to velocity mode. And again, we're not seeing a whole lot there, Alex, like we have certainly been looking at here. Most of this now, just so if you'd see anything, I'd say it's right in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's weakened a lot. And again, I think this is because it's moving into an unfavorable environment versus the favorable environment. Had better wind shear, better turning of those winds, so we can get those thunderstorms rotating. Now it's moving out of that, and we're starting to see the thunderstorm weaken, because the only thing that keeps a thunderstorm going and keeps it severe is wind shear. It keeps the updraft of the storm, where your rising areas, separated from the downdraft of the storm, where it's sinking areas. And so when we separate that, the thunderstorm's able to live longer. When they're on top of each other, it starts to lose its strength very quickly and dies out. And I think that's indeed what we're seeing here. They do continue that tornado warning for portions of Scott County and into Hawkins County as well till 7 o'clock this evening. So this is still a tornado warning. You want to be in your safe place in the centermost point of your house or your basement, away from the exterior walls and windows, and you want to have a way to receive warnings as well. And we're going to continue to see this environment as we go through the next several hours. And so showers and thunderstorms will continue in this. Could we see another rotating thunderstorm? Yes, potentially, especially further back off to the north and west, where those ingredients are better set up. But right now we still have that tornado warning. Again, that is for Scott County in Virginia and for Hawkins County in northeast Tennessee. And that goes until 7 o'clock this evening. This thunderstorm complex, which was looking a lot better earlier, is really starting to rapidly weaken. We're still seeing some thunderstorms. And in addition, you're going to get very, very heavy rainfall with this as we have that tropical air mass over us. And so we have very efficient rain producers with this shower and thunderstorm activity that's moving through. Again, because of the wind shear that is there, that is why we saw some rotating thunderstorms and why we saw this tornado warning ultimately issued there this evening. So I'll step it back here and I'll show you what it looked like as it was put a little bit better together. So you can see the hook on there, especially right around the 6:20 time frame, and then as it progressed eastward out of that better wind shear, it starts to become more disorganized and falling apart. And I believe that's why they went ahead and dropped the confirmed tornado warning. They dropped it because the signature on radar was not as consistent and saying that there's debris, and so that disappeared, and that is good news. Again, now just a tornado warning for portions of Scott County and Hawkins County as well, and the very, very extreme eastern portions of Lee County until 7 o'clock. Again, the better threat for some of that tornadic potential and rotation is to the east of the area. And again, Mark, just looking at that, it does not look super impressive.
It does not look super impressive. And keep in mind, the Weather Service is the one who issues the warnings. We don't issue warnings, but we stay on the air as long as they're in effect. And this is a tornado warning. It's a new tornado warning because we have the confirmed tornado just east of Sneedville. This is a tornado warning here. It's still in effect for Lee and Scott County, Hawkins County until 7 o'clock. That's about 10 minutes, 11 minutes from now. So we're watching that. We're still seeing some of the lightning ramping up. But as Alex has mentioned, we just don't see that center of wind where it's coming together. So we don't see what we term as a couplet where the red and the green come together. We're not seeing that too well here, but nonetheless, you can see how this is hanging down across areas of Hawkins County. Seguinsville, you're about to see some of the heavier downpours, Church Hill as well. A little bit of a bow here, Alex. So let's look back at velocity, because even though we have a tornado warning, you can query some of this velocity here. Not showing bright banding. I'm seeing a little bit back here northeast of Blackwater. You may want to check that as well. But when we check some of the winds here, maybe 30 to 40 mile per hour winds with some of these storms that are moving through that region. And again, if you look at the height here, Alex, how high are we up in the atmosphere? Probably 2,000 or 3,000 feet, right, from the radar?
Yeah, about 2,300 feet.
2,300 feet. So that means if you get one of the thunderstorms, you could encounter some of those wind gusts coming down to the ground. It's a possibility here. And I just want to point out, if we zoom back out, let's just show you this, because we're still on the air because we do have this tornado warning still in effect. And this is why we're on the air, to help watch your lives as well. Life and property, always a big issue. We have tornado warnings issued, and we had that confirmed tornado, which means somebody actually saw the tornado there east of Sneedville by 9 miles. But nonetheless, you can see this whole complex of showers and thunderstorms going to move right into Kingsport, Church Hill, Gate City, into Nicholsville as well, and other points. Let's go ahead and move this about 15-30 minutes and see how it's been moving here. Again, the whole complex moving about east-northeast, it looks like at about 30 miles per hour. So you can see how we will continue to watch this. And again, a lot of lightning now ramping up there into parts of Lee County and Scott County in association with this cell as it's continuing to make its way off towards the east-northeast. Church Hill, right over you folks in a little bit here. I'd say less than 5 to 7 minutes. You're looking at Mount Carmel, about the same. Weber City and Gate City, just after 7 o'clock, that line is going to come through your area as well. You can actually move this a little bit over so they can see that line of storms here, or to move the radar, just so we get the idea. Let's take this, Alex, and move it over here, and then move the radar. You can definitely see that. So there are your cities that are going to be affected by this, again, as it's making its way into the region. You widen this out, Alex, we've got more showers, more thunderstorms all across the region. So this isn't the only one. We've had tornado warnings there, Danville in Virginia. That looks like it's been allowed to expire a bit, but nonetheless, a lot of severe weather possibilities still linger tonight as we are watching a vigorous front coming into our region as well. It looks like they're still keeping the tornado warning until 7 o'clock this evening. And as soon as this is over, I know you want to go back to programming, but that's why we're on the air, because we've got one tornado warning right here, still issued for areas. You can see the counties here, just a little sliver there of Hancock County, Hawkins County, into Lee and Scott County. Let's zoom in back into that area, Alex. One more time, we'll take a look at the whole storm complex here, because this is what we're looking at. We've got that complex of thunderstorms here. There's your rain, where the rain's falling heavily at times. And let's just show you the 1 hour's rainfall with these, because it's been quite impressive here as we've been looking at some of the heavier rains back into Sneedville, as we've had almost 3/4 to an inch of rain there with some of these cells that have been moving through. You can also see that now coming into Scott County as well as Hawkins County. And then if you take a look, though, if we take that, let's show you the hail, because the hail has also been incredible, as we've seen anywhere from maybe $half size to quarter size hail in that swath, and that's usually sometimes representative of a tornado signature as well. We see that now as we've been seeing that confirmed tornado about 9 miles east of Sneedville. That's been gone now, and that's why you're not seeing that purple box. But let's move back to the tornado warning itself. That's still in effect for about 8 more minutes here, and I do not see a cancellation yet. So that's where we're still on the air here. There's that tornado warned storm area. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning, which means conditions are favorable. We do not have a confirmation right now of a confirmed tornado on the ground. And if you look at this, I really don't see much at all.
Yeah, I really
here,
don't
Alex.
see why they're continuing it.
Yeah, there's no circulation on here. You're just getting some gusty winds with those thunderstorms. Even if we look at the shear on this, you can see some of the shear. Yeah, we've got a little bit of shear here going on just east of Big Springs there and just southwest of Church Hill. But again, that's mainly with the thunderstorm itself that's producing some of these higher wind gusts. And again, severe thunderstorm warnings I'm seeing here back to Knoxville. But our severe thunderstorm warning here is still issued for Wise County until 7:30. And while we're on the air, we'll show you that storm here briefly. This, again, that tornado warned storm, we're not seeing much on there now. We'll take you northward, Big Stone Gap into Wise. You've got another severe thunderstorm warning here, and that's a pretty good line of thunderstorms with hail possible back towards Jenkins in Kentucky. So yes, it's going to be very active here across southwest Virginia. These cells moving rather rapidly. You're seeing some of the bright red here, where we could get wind gusts maybe over 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's why you're looking at that severe thunderstorm warning. And again, that in effect for Wise County until 7:30. But right now, Alex, I'd say that if we go back to that area, I'll let you do some talking here. I think the tornado warning is still in effect until 7 o'clock, but really I don't see a reason for that right now. We're just not seeing that couplet, the circulation we had earlier over Sneedville. Very good couplet there. We're just seeing a line of thunderstorms may bow out just a bit. So yes, you may see some higher wind gusts in association with this coming into Church Hill, Seguinsville. But again, if you've had pictures, you've taken some pictures outside, we'd love to share those. Send them to us, pix@wjhl.com. Make sure you watch your email, because we're going to send you a release form. You have to sign that, send it back to us. But nonetheless, there's that little line of storms. So we take you one more second back to velocity, Alex, and I'll toss it back to you. But if we look at velocity, here we just don't see anything. It's just maybe 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts with some of those storms that are popping up through the area.
Yeah, Mark, indeed. And again, it's because it's moving out of that favorable environment with the rotating winds. We get that strong wind shear. That is further to our north and west, back closer to the front. So as it moves east, it's moving out of that environment. And this is why we've seen these thunderstorms weaken, and particularly this tornadic producing a thunderstorm and supercell. Very, very distinct supercell characteristics with this because of the wind shear. So yes, rotating thunderstorm, it's falling apart. It does look like it is falling apart, moving out of those good conditions. And so if we were to query some of the winds here, we're still looking at about 30, 40 mile an hour winds coming into now Seguinsville. So Honeycutt, Seguinsville, parts of Hawkins County, especially southern Hawkins County, dealing with maybe some stronger winds here as this thunderstorm continues to progress to the east and become more linear. That's another sign of weakening here with a thunderstorm that's rotating. If it becomes more linear, that tells you that the stronger winds coming out of the storm are overtaking the winds coming into the storm. So this is now becoming more downdraft dominant, which means you're going to see strong winds out ahead of it. So as the thunderstorm collapses, as it loses its support, it's going to put extremely strong winds out ahead of that. So I would not be surprised to see, if they haven't already, issuing a severe thunderstorm warning.
This also includes Hancock Hawkins, Sullivan, Washington, Lee, Russell, Scott, Washington. So now they're going to issue a what you may want to turn the warning back on here. This is a whole new severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect now until 7:45. So the tornado warning has expired. We're going to get off the air here in a minute, but I do want to point out now a new severe thunderstorm warning. This has the potential, does have a tornado signature, a possibility that in the warning itself, because we've already had a tornado reported back towards Sneedville. And we're going to let you go here for a minute, but there's that new severe thunderstorm warning. We do not have any showing up on the radar right now, but it is a severe thunderstorm warning. Well, let's go back to radar, Alex, because you look at the radar. This is a line of storms. It's going to move from Seguinsville, Churchill. Let's expand the view so everybody can see where they're at. You can definitely see this here. It's coming up Seguinsville to Gate City, Kingsport, and Tri-Cities. This is that new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm getting a lot of talk in my ear right now. But if you see this right here, this is going to make its way eastward. So just a heads up that this may in fact produce damaging winds, may in fact produce a quick spin up of a tornado. That's why they've got that tagged for a severe thunderstorm with the potential of a tornado. So we're watching that area right there. So as a result, tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect until 7:45. And really, if we see anything else, we'll break into programming. But right now, if you take the cities off there, Alex, you can see those cities that will be affected. Let's move this real quick, about 15 minutes, so you can see where these storms are moving to. They're going to move right over Hawkins County into Lee and Scott County, coming into Washington County, as well as Sullivan and Washington County in Tennessee. So this whole band, severe thunderstorm warning till 7:45. Be on the lookout. Threatening weather affects your area. Seek shelter immediately indoors, away from windows, away from buildings, lower level of the house. And again, if we see a tornado warning, we'll definitely be on the air. But right now, we're going to get off the air here, let you watch programming here. And that again, severe thunderstorm warning for that area there in the yellow until 7:45.